Hello everyone, once again my name is Petrify and welcome to another episode of Card Combos, Tips and Tricks. In this week's episode, we'll be looking at 3 tips so you can get better value out of the Nilfgaard card, Rot Tosser. The Rot Tosser is a 6 strength card that spawns a Cow Carcass on the opposite row, which destroys all the lowest units on that row after 2 turns. It can be crafted for 30 scraps or for 200 scraps in premium if you really want the shiny things. Tip number 1. Always consider the placement of your Cow Carcass. The Cow Carcass will often be thrown to the right or the left hand side of the board by players who aren't really thinking. However, it is usually correct to place the Cow Carcass in between enemy units so you can prevent potions and buffs. This is a really small thing, but it's a really important thing that can disrupt the strategy of both monster and dwarf players who rely heavily on buffs such as Thunderbolt potions and immune boosts. Tip number 2. Plan the placement of other spies so you can get more value from the Cow Carcass detonation. For instance, if the enemy has prevented your Cow Carcass from getting full value by placing a low strength unit on the row, you can simply place a card like Cantarella on an empty row, and then throw a Cow Carcass at the Cantarella for insane value. Tip number 3. Use the Cow Carcasses to stagger your Imperial Brigade so that they can't all be Igni'd or Scorched at once. To do this, play a Rot Tosser, and then follow it up by an Imperial Brigade, which will receive +2 stats from the Cow Carcass. Once the Cow Carcass dies naturally, you can then play a second Imperial Brigade, which will not receive the buff from the Cow Carcass as the Cow Carcass is dead, and this leaves your unit staggered so you're not as vulnerable to Ignis or Scorches. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you've learned something today, and I'll see you next week for some more cool card combos, tips and tricks. And don't forget to tune in to my Twitch channel at Petrify SC2, or if you're after any coaching lessons, please visit us at GamerSensei.